You're watching BuyPBL's Gab-fest. Guest opinions do not reflect the opinions of the show sponsors. Video and audio quality is determined by the individual partaking in the program. We apologize in advance for any enlightened views of the industry or hurt feelings.
So welcome to Gabfest. This is our first episode. Today I'm with Justin Rabackoff and Steve Rabackoff, father and son, and we're going to go over basically some of the differences within the generations, and we're going to get some insight on both ends of the spectrum. So how is your generation of pro players different from the past generation, your father's generation? Faster, stronger?
Yeah, definitely faster, stronger. Back then it was all like older people playing in the woods and playing hyperball, but now, you know, everyone's faster, everyone is stronger. I think the players are definitely better. I mean, yeah, you still have players from back then, but you take a team like Russian Legion now and then you play Avalanche back in 2000, it's just not even going to be a competition. It won't even be a competition.
Not even a competition. Steve, what do you have to say about that?
Well, all I could say is it's 2011. I'm still undefeated. The Russians never beat me, so they couldn't beat me then, and they still haven't beaten me. So I'll keep that undefeated record against them. No, honestly, it was just a different game. The guns were a little bit slower, a lot slower than they are now, and the quality of players that we had can match up against any of the guys now. It's just faster and it's just a different, like you said, it's a different era.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole different game. Like, you look at paintball then and then you look at paintball now, it's not even the same what you're watching or what you're looking at. So, I mean, you can't even really compare the two to see who's better and who's not, because it's a totally different game from what it was then and what it is now.
Absolutely.
But I can say this real quickly. The Russian Legion of now they became the team they are now of when they started playing against Avalanche in 2000, 2001. When they first started playing 7-man in the Millennium, they became the team they are now. Their dedication was they wanted to be the best team in the world. And the rivalry that Avalanche and Russian Legion had is spawned to the team that they are now, in my opinion.
But you were mentioning both basically heart and how that hasn't changed. What has changed as far as maybe some other values or styles or interests?
The do-rags that we used to wear. We used to take T-shirts and cut up the T-shirts here at the end. We would just cut them up here, and then we would take those and wear those. That was pretty goofy. I wore a sock hat, which was pretty lame.
I had a sock hat back in the day, too. A JT sock hat. It was green, olive green.
I think what also has changed when I first started playing, and I think most of the guys back then, was we played. I didn't even know what the prizes were at events. I didn't care. I just wanted to say my team was better than your team, and we would travel to win and say we won the tournament. I didn't care about the prizes. Everyone now is all about the prizes. They judge events based on prizes, and we played for pride. We played to say that Avalanche or the Iron Man or Image, whoever those teams were, we played to say we were just better than you. And I think
we play for that. We play for that as well. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's all it, but I mean, that's a big part of it. I mean, going out there, obviously you want to go out there and be the best and show all the other teams that, you know, you're not going to beat us when we walk out onto the field. I mean, that hasn't changed, but I think the thought process of most players want to go out there, it's not all that.
They are trying a lot of teams, but a lot of them, I'll listen to them and they're, hey, the prizes are this, the prizes are that, and a lot of things have changed too. Like a lot of players like to blame the refs for them not doing well, and I just think all young teams. I've traveled all over the world, and I've had all athletics have good calls and bad calls. You just got to work through them, and when you do lose, you can't blame the refs. And in all paintball, I don't care what tournament it is, you want to win World Cup, and that's the Super Bowl for paintball.
Honestly, yeah, this event is going to be real interesting. I mean, pretty much no team is the same. Every team has, like, new players. Like, you're not looking at the same teams that you did last year, except maybe our team. I mean, we picked up a few new players and then dropped a couple, but, like, except for Dynasty, they picked up Oliver Lang, but all the other teams are not the same. everyone has picked up new players, even Damage, Aftershock, and then we're looking at this new CEP Rattlesnake 7 team. Who knows what they're going to be?
And that at paintball, we need teams like that to keep moving up. Because if the teams in the divisionals don't think they can make it to the pro, then what's the work for? So going into PSP this weekend in Galveston, I think any team here can win this event. And there's no clear-cut favorite because last year is last year. It's over. It's what you're going to do this year.
All right. Justin, are people from the older generation always right, or is there a time where you have to tell them that, no, they're wrong?
I definitely wouldn't say that they're always right, but you also have to, know your place where you can't, tell them, like, you're wrong, this is how it should be done, because obviously, they're the more experienced players, they're the vets, but at the same time, like, I feel like my knowledge for the game is up to par, so I would like, my input on a field layout or any kind of game situation, because I feel like it's honored a little bit.
This question is more for both of you, actually. What do you feel that some topics might be that different generations disagree on? Would it be it, let's say, rule changes or formats and things like that?
Honestly, it feels like they're changing the rules every single event and every single year. Like, we're hearing new rules about, different things for every event, and you just can't even keep up with them anymore. Like, with the new, the layout where they changed it, where it's wider and longer, like, they're trying to make it so, like, you don't have to be athletic. You can be, a fat person sitting in the back or running out to the corner because you're not going to get shot on the break. I don't know what they're trying to implement with these rules, but they're always changing rules. It seems like there's a new rule every single event.
I think that they're just trying to get it where everyone can play at this level, but my opinion is, like, in the pro division, maybe just leave the pro division, because we're all, like, when I played, I was trying to get to the pro division. I think everyone that plays paintball at tournament level is trying to get to the pro division. Just maybe leave the pro division alone and maybe open up the divisionals and let them, like, for instance, I can't play I can go out there and play, but I can't keep up point after point with these guys. I could fool myself thinking I can, but I can't. Like, for me to do it, I have to work out every day, train hard, and I could do it, but the wear and tear at the level, at the pro level now is just, it's
I mean, but even for anybody, like, going out there every single point of every single match, like, that's tough for anybody. That's why you need 2 squads and even an extra player or extra 2 players on your team, because nobody can run every single point of every single match the whole tournament. I mean, you're going to wear out by the end of the tournament. You're going to have no legs. You're going to just be running out there with noodles. No, but I honestly, I like the changes of the field being wider and longer. I think better players are gonna show improvement. Yeah, I think they're gonna show improvement, honestly, because practicing on this field and seeing that it is longer, you can see the paint better. You can watch the paint better. So you can even stop in dead zones, watch paint, and I think better players, the smarter players, the more methodical players, are gonna shine more in the pro level with the field changes.
How is the introduction of technologies, let's say in marker technologies or loader technologies, how has that changed maybe the mentalities?
Even with all the new technology, there's caps on the gun. We're shooting 12.5 in the pro and even 10 balls in the lower division. So even with, like, these new technologies with loaders being able to shoot 30 balls a second, it doesn't even matter anyways because you can't use it in the tournament. So, I mean, everyone's shooting the same 10 balls or 12 balls in the pro. So it really doesn't matter. The only thing that I could say would be different is everything's lighter.
When WDP introduced the Angel, when Avalanche was shooting it, the speed of the guns have been pretty much the same. The only thing that's changing now is the board technology. What the boards do, the boards talk to you, they do this, they do that. Like Justin said, everything's capped. The loader technology is by far superior than what we were using, and pretty much all of the technology, but they've capped it. They had to have capped it, because if you don't cap it, then a lot of others, yeah, you just can't. You have no chance. So they've definitely made some changes that have evened it out a little bit, and I think have been good for paintball. And at first when they made the rule change here, the field's gonna be wider and longer. People were up in arms and saying that it's gonna do this and that, but they're up 20 teams here. Their attendance is up. People will forget about it. Like last year, they did the other rule change with what was it, Justin? The rate of fire change last year, right?
The 12 and a half balls per second.
Went to 12.5, and they were up in arms about that. So they get past it. They stop complaining. And for all you people that like to go home and get on your, what I call you guys keyboard warriors, and start talking trash, at least post your name.
Yeah.
Post your name, man. Don't
name and address.
Name and address. If you're going to say something, just put your name. People respect it.
All right. Well, there's been a technology change, of course, in the markers and equipment themselves, but there's also been the advent of Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and all of that. Has that changed the game at all?
I would say, yeah, there's more media. People can see the pro players more than they could back in the day. But even still, it's like you have teams out there, and you're with people on the team that are just like, who's on that team, who's out there. You only have a select few teams and a select few players where everybody knows, because it just seems like those players are getting, magazines, interviews, or whatever, things like this. But then you have teams, even a lot of players from like Aftershock and a lot of players from Impact. A lot of those players are good, but nobody knows who they are.
Absolutely. You can go on Facebook today and you can see instant posts from everybody, players, people, fans are following you, following teams. So, yeah, if we would have had, because as far as I'm concerned, Avalanche was the first true rock stars of paintball. We had the first, Avalanche 101 was the first video. We had the first posters. We set the tone for what's going on now, because Dynasty came right in that's the beginning of Dynasty, and then they started following, and they took it to another level. And so, by far, like now, you'll go here this weekend, and teams are on Facebook, Twitter, posting what they're doing, and people can follow them easy, which is good. Pro Paintball, I think, has done a phenomenal job with the promoting paintball and the rumors and leaking new products, but it's the same thing. It's the guys that can go in the chat boards, the forums, and just, I think sometimes they're negative and they talk about people, and I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's good and bad, and it's got its place, and sometimes it doesn't. At least if you're going to say something, put your name next to it.
What is one thing you wish you could revive from the past generation and reintroduce to players today?
I wish that a lot of players now don't know that what we did, what they're doing now, is what we set up for them. And I think there's just, like in other sports, the legends of other sports, or the Hall of Famers, and our sport, guys are trying to do that, and certain people know certain guys like Rocky Cagnoni and Chris Lasoya, but a lot of guys back in the day set the stage for these guys to do what they're doing now, and I think sometimes they're forgotten, and there's a gap now. A lot of players now don't know who they are. Like some kids can't. Some kids, I hate to say this, I shouldn't even admit this. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to do that.
No, do it. I know exactly what he's going to say, too.
Some kid tells me today, he goes, are you J-Rab's dad? I mean, like, come on.
Oh, great. You're being compared to your son now. Great.
Yeah.
But with that gap, and like the lack of knowledge, I guess, is there maybe... has that affected the interaction between, let's say, older teammates on your team and younger and newer generation teammates on your team, Justin?
No, I wouldn't say so, because, even like the experienced players, everybody kind of agrees. Everybody knows the game pretty well, the experienced players, and even the players coming up. Everybody in the pro level is good.
Look at the basic, the pro teams, like, most of the pro teams have someone that is old school, like Billy Wing on the Ironman.
Yeah.
He played his first tournament in '97 in Atlanta. His first tournament in pro paintball was in Atlanta with the Ironman in '97. Here he is. He's still playing, and he's leading the Ironman right now. So a lot of these teams have, like you said, the older generation that are bringing their knowledge to these younger players. And I know that a lot. I know I had my share with Justin, of course, and a lot of guys like John Richardson and Rusty Glaze and Travis Lemansky, Brian Fowle, all those guys had a definite impact on Justin playing where he is now. They all basically brought him up.
Perfect. I have a couple user-submitted questions. The first one comes from a user on PB Nation, and he's asking, for Steve, what were you rocking on your Walkman before the matches?
Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine. That's actually a good one. I approve this message. All right, next question real quick. We have Alex Reed, and he was wondering, how's the commitment level to the sport change at the pro level over the years?
I would say with most teams, like once they go pro, they kind of get lazy. Except for our team, only because the coaches make us do that stuff. But most teams, once they go pro, once they made that spot, a lot of teams do get lazy, except for these younger teams like Aftershock and Damage, where they're out there actually doing drills and actually, warming up like they should be. But I mean, honestly, I think Dynasty is going to surprise a lot of people this event with all their new additions. I feel like they feel reunited in a sense, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of people at this event. That would definitely be a game to watch, Dynasty and Russian Legion in the finals.
We'll see if it happens. Our next question comes from Gilbert, and he's from Pro Paintball, and he's wondering what changes are made by the past generation players to keep up with the new younger pros, if any changes.
Yeah. It's called 24-hour fitness. Eating better, and like I said, these guys gotta go to the gym. Like I told Lasoya, if he's watching this, Lasoya, go to the gym. You need to stay in the gym, buddy. You're not gonna be able to keep up with these guys if you don't get in the gym.
You gotta lose about 10 pounds, Chris.
Bit of free hate there.
No, guy, like perfect example. Chris has got all the paintball experience and he's got the timing. He knows all the moves. But to keep up with these younger players at all the teams, we older generation has to be in better shape. They got to condition. Like these younger guys, they're all conditioning, but they're younger and they heal faster and they can do things quicker, and it's just the way it is, man. And you got to train harder. That's all.
We got another question from Evan McDonald, and he's wondering who is the oldest pro still playing and who is the youngest.
Alex Martinez.
Pro. No, he's not playing. He's not playing. He's coaching.
Okay, so Alex last year played World Cup, and he's like 42, 43. Actually, he might be 44. He was, I think he was probably the oldest. The youngest might be, what's his name? Justin, he played with last year, Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob is. I think he's 15, and he plays with Tampa Bay Damage.
15.
Pretty sure. Yeah, he's the youngest, and I think who would be the oldest right now, because Alex isn't playing.
Chris,
I know for a fact.
It wouldn't surprise me. Lasoya might be one of the older guys in the league now. I think he's like 39.
Either Chris or Travis, right?
Yeah, Chris or Travis Lemansky. There's like Travis is still out there, guns a-blazing, still doing it.
Still running out there to the corner. Yeah, I saw him do it in practice.
Shooting his gun, still lighting people up.
Last question I got for you guys. This is the one I'm sure you were waiting for. This one comes from... Sorry?
The one where I dominate Justin one-on-one.
Yeah, it might have a bit to do with that. The question comes from Louis D'Alessio, and he's wondering, Steve, do you think your son is a better player than you?
Oh, man.
Of course.
Basically, in other words, who one-on-one right now, you two, who's taking it?
Well, I can give him 10 games. He plays me 10 games one-on-one, and he will not win one of them.
Well, let's put it this way.
I will beat him 10 times out of 10 on any given day.
So you'll beat me 10 times out of 10 games?
Yeah, I'll give you 10 games, and you won't beat me one time.
Where do you want to do this?
We can do it anywhere. Like, I've called you out so many times, and you always submit.
I feel sorry for you.
You never play me. There's so many people out there that will agree with me on you submitting. We even had you You could have geared up. I was ready. I was on the field, and you didn't even come out. You wouldn't play.
I felt sorry for you, man. I didn't want to embarrass you.
You're scared.
So when are we doing this? When are we setting this up?
Like this is going this year. I'm not going to share this anymore. This is ending this year. I'm going to show everybody. Mr. Russian Legion, I'm going to crush you.
You let us know, and we'll be there with the camera.
All right, bring it.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
He said 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Oh, that's a pretty big boast right there.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot, guys. It was great having you. Glad you were both here, able to tell us a little bit about the gap between the generations. Anyway, good luck in your tournament, Justin.
Thank you.
Steve, thanks a lot again. That's it for this episode, guys. Stay tuned.
All right, thanks for having me.